drop or whatever.
Yeah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم ما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله سبحانه وتعالى وخير هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وبعد. I want to mention two hadith and inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala a few ayah from the book of Allah to start the presentation. The topic, I was going to talk about it Thursday, which was considered Thanksgiving in many places, but I didn't do it, so I rescheduled it. And the topic is the issue of justice versus injustice. The issue of justice and injustice. And this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, they mentioned this issue for us. The issue of being just. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah An-Nisa 135 in the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, addressing the believers, Kunu qawwamina bil qisti shuhada'a lillah. All you who believe, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the believers. Kunu qawwamina bil qisti shuhada'a lillah. The ulama, they said, the statement of Allah, qawwamina, in the Arabic language, this is what's called sighatul mubalagha. Sigha al-mubalagha. What this simply means is that it carries multiple and vast meanings. Where qawwamina really means qiyamin alay, to establish. Qiyamin means to establish in this case. So if Allah revealed, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, or you believe, kunu qawwamina, kunu qawwamina, here has the broader meaning, rather than kunu qiyaman alay. Qiyaman means to establish. To establish what? To establish what Allah Azza wa Jalla said. To establish what's justice. To establish what's just. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ulama, they said, qawwamina here has two meanings. Where if he said qiyaman, it just means you be just. Kunu qiyaman, bil qist. Be people who establish bil qist. Qist here means justice. So Allah said bil qist, to establish the justice. Shuhada'a, being witness to that justice, lillah, because of the commandment and to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the ulama said, when Allah said qawwamina rather than qiyaman, qawwamina means be just, but it also means وَيَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَيَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ, and you command others with that being just as well. That's the difference between qiyaman and qawwamina. That's the difference. So here, that's why they say shira mubalagha. It's an exaggerated form of the word that includes not just you, Muslim, be just, but command others with that justice too. So here Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, showing it's a characteristic of Iman. Qastatan min al-Iman, a characteristic of Iman. What amru min Allah, and a command from Allah. He said, Kunu, that means be. Qawwamina, those who are just, and calling others to establish their justiceness. That's the meaning of qist, just. Shuhada'a, bearing witness, in testimony, in statement, in judgment. Lillahi. Lillahi means in obedience to Allah. Lillahi means ibtigha wajhillah, seeking the reward from Allah because you're being just and you're calling others to their justice. Allah said, وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ, even if it be against yourselves. أَوْ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَأَقْرَبِينَ, or it be against your own parents or your close relatives. The ulama, they said the reason Allah mentioned this, because people don't like to bear witness against themselves. But somebody might say, I can take the heat. I did that, I was wrong. But when you talk about the role of the one with his parents, if you understand the issue of honoring parents, obeying parents, and that being the way to Jannah, then the believer would never want to do that to his parents. Say, my mother, she did this. Tell him the parent. My father, he was wrong. Tell him the father. You know what? My mom, she said that. She lied. You know what? My father, he betrayed the trust. Because those your parents. If you're coming from an Islamic perspective, not how we're brought up in the West, where the first ones that people disrespect, and as they say, throw under the bus, is the parents. But Islamically, no. So Allah mentioned, even if it be against yourself or your parents, because those are the difficult tasks to establish justice and to make justice establish with those people for them. وَأَقْرَبِينَ, your close relatives means your aunt, your uncle. Again, these are close people in Islam. So if Allah is saying that about parents, close relatives, and even you, then what about those who are not even your close relatives? They're not your parents. Then of course you can't bear false witness. You can't. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala continues, He said, إِن يَكُونُوا غَنِيًّا أَوْ فَقِيرًا فَاللَّهُ أَوْلَى بِهِمَا. And if it be someone who is wealthy or someone is poor, then no one here should be put before Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. The ulama, they said the tafsir of this is talking about a person who has money. Again, you're going to be just and command those to establish the justice, meaning what's true, not what's false. So a person who has money, you might say, well, I need that money. So now you bear false witness with that person who's ghaniyun to get money. That's wrong. Or the person must be, as Allah said, faqiran, poor. So you feel sorry for him. Oh, that poor thing. He doesn't have. He's poor. He's downtrodden. So you side with him. You know it's falsehood, but you feel sorry. So now you bear false witness for the poor. These are two of the meanings why Allah mentioned these people in the ayah. Whether they be rich or poor, you can't put bearing false witness or testifying or taking a side with the rich or the poor in front of Allah. You can't put anybody before Allah. Allah is first. Whether someone is rich or poor, don't bear false witness. Don't be unjust. Don't establish falsehood just because of. Allah said, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا الْهَوَاءَ, and don't follow the hawa. وَإِن تَلْوُوا أَوْ تُعْرِضُوا. And here this is read two ways, the ulama said. Here are timing, two ways. وَإِن تَلْوُوا. Here this has two meanings. That you would distort something for benefit, or you will be quiet. And the other word that's from the other recitation, وَإِن talu. وَإِن talu. Talu means the people who are in charge. So one of the meanings وَإِن talu means even if you be a leader, don't be unjust just because you have the power. وَإِن talu, which has two vowels, then that means don't cover the truth and don't be quiet about the truth. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ, because Allah is aware of what you're doing. This ayah is talking about the issue of justice. As ulama said, qist means to be just. And qast with the fatah means dhulm. So qist, truthfulness, justice. And qast with the fatah, if you change it, it means dhulm, wrongdoing. So here, this is the ayah I want to mention at the beginning, because many times people think an injustice really is what's just, and they think a just issue is injustice because they don't understand this issue from the Islamic perspective. If there's any falsehood involved, it cannot be called justice. And if there's any truth in it, then that makes it what's just. Allah said, وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنِ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَن تَعْدِلُوا. Don't let a people's wrong cause you to be unjust. Here meaning to do wrong. Somebody does you wrong, don't mean you can do them wrong back. Allah said, اعْدِلُوا, be just. هُوَ أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى, because this is closest. This is in the area of taqwa, being truthful, being just. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in the Quran. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the likes of this. The ulama, when they talk about this issue, they mentioned the Prophet's statement. He said, وَانْصُرْ أَخَاكَ ظَالِمًا أَوْ مَظْلُومًا. Help your brother whether he be oppressed or the oppressor. He said, how do you help him if he is the one doing the oppressing? They said, the Prophet said, مَنَعَهُ, yani stop him. سَجْرَهُ, stop him. And part of this is to be just. You stop evil. You command the evil to be stopped. You yourself be right. Don't be someone who's going to, as the Prophet said, shahada to zur. You know it's wrong, but you bear false witness. You know you have no business, but you get involved. The second thing, two hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, Allah udullukum ala man afdalu min darajatu salat wa siyam wa sadaqah. He said, may I not direct you to a thing that's greater than a person doing and having a large amount of salat and a large amount of fasting and a large amount of charity. They said, Bala ya Rasulullah. The Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that's bainikum. That's bain. That's bain means fix the relations between you. Because as the ulama said, your salat is for you, fasting is for you, sadaqah is for you. But fixing the relationship between you, that's something that the ummah benefits from. So that's the greater thing. The Prophet mentioned this hadith. He also said, be aware of that bain, bad relations between you. He said, because bad relations, that bain, he said, halak, it's yani halak, yani it's destruction. And he said that halak huwa tahliq, and the destruction here is to be shaved. The destruction here is to be shaved. Imagine you shave, your skin is shaved, your hair is shaved, you're losing something. And another word, he said that halaq huna halak ad-din. You shave away the religion when you have bad relations, when you have things that cause enmity, hostilities. So this is why I wanted to talk about this issue. Excuse my voice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. As you know, when you make umrah, you come to the mamlaka, people from all over the world, so you get sick in the throat, sick in the chest. Allah musta'an. Just as people going on in their daily lives, we have the issue in Palestine, no doubt, Palestine, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aid the oppressed against the oppressor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return us back to obedience, because we have some fault in this, that we're losing the dhimma of Allah, the protection of Allah as the ummah. May Allah help us. Ameen. But this issue we have to deal with. And I've made dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, and inshallah we want to deal with this issue. I was asked by our brother, and there's no doubt that it's public information what's happened, as we mentioned, as it relates to justice and injustice. I was asked, and I'm going to play the voice messages so people can hear, to comment and to give my opinion, my suggestion as to what I think can solve a so-called conflict in our community. And Masjid Muttakabbir in Market Safina to North in Poughkeepsie, New York. I was asked that by our brother Ahmed Yassin. There's no doubt his name has been mentioned. My name has been mentioned. Imam Anwar's name has been mentioned. Many other people. So we don't want to start for beginners why his name is being mentioned. It's way too late for that. And if we reflect on the ayah, we reflect on the points of what we heard from the hadith of the Prophet, then this is a good thing to try to fix it. That's what he's asking of me. But he wants me to say that it's just a misunderstanding. Me and Shaykh Ukkasha, he wants Ahmed to say, me and Shaykh Ukkasha talked it out, we're good. But for me, what I did was I went and got people to speak about this issue that are involved. You could hear from them, and I'm going to play some of Ahmed's own speech that he sent in WhatsApp messages. And I'm not the only one that has it. It's been sent around. Different people have it. So it's public information. Maybe not to many, but to some. So my intention is not to create more problem. My intention is not to get back at anyone or to have some score settled. But it's number one, to show what is the difference between justice and injustice, because we have that mixed up. That's the issue of deen. Number two, to clarify for the people who are confused. Many people are confused. And for the people that have been tricked innocently to think that that man has been wrong and there's something wrong with me and Imam Anwar personally. We have to, from Islam, difa an al-il, to defend your honor. Wa difa an mada adam, to defend your life, your blood. Wa difa an al-amwal, and to defend your property, your wealth. Allah commands you that. We have no choice. And had he not sent me these messages, I would not have talked about it. We have agreed, me and Imam Anwar, Shaikh Anwar, not to sit with him, not to entertain it with others, because it's full of confusion, full of mixed words and deception and lies. And so we haven't responded. But I'm responding because he asked me, he's begging me, he's pleading. So inshallah we will play some of this in order so people can hear for themselves what is the real deal. Because whoever takes a side, whoever bears false witness, then this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited. And remember, Allah wa ta'ala told the Prophet, when the people were debating with him about the truth, in Surah Nisa, no, Surah Ali Imran, I'm sorry. Allah said, say to them, O Muhammad, فَمَنْ حَاجَكَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ, and those who want to debate and argue with you after the knowledge has come to them, قُلْ تَعَالَوْا, tell them, come on, نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا, let us bring our sons, وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ, and your sons, وَنِسَاءَنَا, our wives, وَنِسَاءَكُمْ, your wives, وَأَنفُسِنَا, let us bring ourselves, وَأَنفُسِكُمْ, and you all bring yourselves, ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِيلْ, let us cast upon ourselves, فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ, and let us swear, whoever is not telling the truth, may the curse of Allah be invoked upon them and their families. So this is how serious it is. Anybody who's involved, quiet about this issue, siding on the wrong side, instigating, spreading tales, it's a very dangerous issue. And I'm ready to bring and say, may the curse be upon me, my family, myself, my children, if I'm lying. What about you? We're going to see. So we're going to play the first, which is clearing up the issue. Did me and Imam Anwar stop a summer camp? Because again, people are looking at us saying, wow, they're against this man. All he wants to do is good. Oh, subhanallah, this is envy. No, we had nothing to do with a Muslim summer camp. That was his idea. We couldn't stop it if we wanted to because it was in other communities. And this is another proof. It's not a private issue. If we're in Poughkeepsie, how does something reach Beacon? Which is in a whole other county, by the way, Orange County. If we're in Poughkeepsie, how does something reach Newburgh? Again, which is in a whole other county. You're going to hear from Imam Hassan, who's the Imam in Beacon, and Abdul Kabir, who's both one of the people of knowledge and on the board with them in Beacon and a part of the community in Newburgh. We're going to hear from them.
Recorded your audio resumed. Pause. Button.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulil kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam tasliman kathira amma ba'd. This is Monday night, the 13th of November. I think it's the 28th of Rabi'a al-Akhir, 1445. This is a response. So Brother Ahmed Yassin from the Poughkeepsie, New York community. And inshallah, I'm going to reply to him. He asked me to reply to a series of WhatsApp audio messages. And my decision, he asked me to give him a resolution to what he called a conflict. Others might not call it a conflict, but he called it a conflict. And I decided to play what he sent me so that the people who are involved, the innocent and those who are confused, can hear it, along with what other people said about him and how this so-called conflict was not contained inside of Poughkeepsie, as he claimed he wanted to contain it. He didn't want to spread it, but how he himself took it to neighboring cities such as Beacon, New York, about 25 minutes away, Newburgh, which is across in a whole other county, Orangeburg County. It reached different places by him physically, not to mention WhatsApp groups and other ways of transmitting these issues. So I'm going to play what they said. You'll hear it. And then I'm going to play his speech. And then I'll make some final comments in the end. Well, that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask Allah to give the truth triumphancy and to demolish and dissipate and bring down falsehood. Amen. This is Imam Hassan from Beacon. This question is asked about a summer camp that included Muslim children, in which Imam Anwar was in the meeting with myself, Imam Ukkasha, Rahman Muhammad, with Ahmed Yassin, and he wanted to take the children from Poughkeepsie and gather them with children from Beacon and Newburgh and take them to Masjid Nur, Wapatus Fall. We didn't object to it, myself, nor Imam Anwar. He can speak for himself, but I'm just saying, we didn't object to it. We had nothing to do with it, but he spread in Atlanta that we stopped that program out of envy, out of not wanting him to do anything. And so Imam Hassan is going to comment on that because he was one of them that is in the community where he took this. And also Shaikh Abdul Khabir, our brother from both Beacon and Newburgh community, they're going to comment about this and what they know about this fitna. Wallah musta'an. Bismillah. So this. Sorry about that. Bismillah. Just bear with me, please.
Landscape.
Yeah, Shaikh. No, I don't know anything about that.
WhatsApp 19. Your message. Link. Landlord, your message. Vertical scroll bar.
I don't know anything about that.
33 page profile picture. Button.
I don't know anything about that. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu khayru mursalin Muhammad Nabi wa alihi wa sahbihi.
Imam forwarded.
No, I don't know anything about that. I have no meeting about stopping any school or anything like that. If they are saying that, then they need to bring the evidence, they need to bring the proof. I don't know anything about that. So as I know, it stopped because of what was going on in Newburgh. And I wasn't
Screen dimmed.
dealing with anybody in Newburgh with that situation about the school or with about the, I think it was the summer camp or any of that. We heard about it, but it never went anywhere. So that's my
my extent on that. And Allah knows best.
And that's the summer school that Ahmed Yassin was trying to get Beacon, Newburgh, and Poughkeepsie and take them all to Masjid Noor. That's the program you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Yeah.
I didn't have no meeting with anybody. We didn't stop anybody. People could do what they wanted to do. Yeah. We're not stopping anybody doing what they wanted to do. We were supposed to, they mentioned it to us. We thought it was a good idea. They didn't get it off the ground, so nothing happened.
MashaAllah.
That's all I know.
MashaAllah.
That's why they're saying that we stopped it. I stopped it.
No, Shaikh. They saying that me and Imam Anwar stopped it from going through, meaning we told you guys don't do it. We told you don't do it. You told not to do it. That's why it didn't happen.
You never said anything to us about that. I don't know anything about that. No.
MashaAllah.
They have to bring that.
Yes, MashaAllah.
Bring the proof, bring the evidence.
MashaAllah.
All of this, all of this talking, all of this, this unity, and fitna, man, it needs to stop, Shaykh.
Jazakallah khair.
It needs to stop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, inshallah, man. So, if you need anything additional, Shaykh, I'm here. I'm not going to
Thank you so much, Shaykh. Allah bless you. And we still scheduled for the...
What's Prof Imam on Vidi Boy Prof Imam Vidi Boy Prof Imam Vidi Voice Call Prof Imam Vidi Voice 41444 you're meant for pause resume
So that was Imam Hassan
button.
And he clearly mentioned that I didn't talk with him about any of this. He didn't stop anything. We didn't suggest to stop anything. Of course, any type of khair, that's a good thing. If you can bring people together upon kitab and sunnah, of course. In fact, me and Imam Anwar didn't tell him, no, it's a bad idea, but we understood that he was up to something. So we told him, no, you go to the people and deal with that. We're not going to go to Beacon and tell them in Newburgh, you handle that. That's what we told him. And he said, well, we're going to, bust them. And we said, well, how are you going to bust them without the parents, doing paperwork and all of this? So we were never against it either. So this is just a way for him to make people see and think that we're against him, we're wronging him, it's a great injustice, and that it's a conflict. There's no conflict. It's just like the people in Palestine is saying, the Palestinian conflict. There's no conflict. Those people occupy unjustly some territory. They oppress those people. So likewise, he's oppressing us. There's no conflict. No conflict before he came. There's no conflict now. No conflict when he leaves. We're upon the same thing we were upon before he came. Doing stuff according to Quran and Sunnah, and that's it. But this guy, as you can see, is blatantly lying. So now this is Sheikh Abdul Kabir, who's from both Beacon and Newburgh community, the same masjid with Imam Hassan. He's going to be asked similarly.
You to comment about this summer camp, what you know about it, and if you talk to me and Anwar, telling you guys don't do it, don't participate with him, because we didn't stop anything, we didn't have any meetings with anybody but him about it. Imam Hassan said that on the Beacon side, he heard about it, but they never allowed anything to go forward because Newburgh already had something going, and the people in Masjid Noor didn't say okay, so he said we left it, but we never said anything, he said, about stopping or doing a program. He said that he never talked with me and Anwar, and that we didn't tell him don't do it, and we didn't tell you don't do it, don't work with him, the Ahmed Yassin, that's a lie on us. So what do you know about this summer camp, and why didn't you guys in Newburgh or Beacon work with him? Was it because of me and Anwar or not?
No, not at that. No, we barely see him one time in in Beacon, that's all. So we don't know that guy. We cannot give him a case. We cannot work with him.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. You know, if you want to get in, let your kids go. You gotta know the person that you're gonna put your kids with. Yeah. Not anybody. And plus, I heard things not from you or Shaikh about him before anyway.
Allah.
Yeah. Yeah. So personally, I told the brothers in Beacon, I told them, don't. Just forget about it because it came to us. It came to me, and a lot of more family was talking to me about the summer camp.
Yeah.
I just told them, mashallah, but I know what's going on. I know how he thinks.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't do it.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. And then everybody now didn't have
MashaAllah. I talked with Sheikh Amir during that time. I just called him, said, how's everything? Came for the general talk. I said, what's going on? You're having a program at the school there with the kids. He said, yeah, we're teaching. I'm getting ready to do summer program with them and like this and that. I never mentioned to him. I just asked him, and he told me, no, we have our own program here. I'm doing like this. So I never asked him about the issue because I seen in a meeting with me and Anwar, he had this idea. He wanted to do the summer school here for 6 weeks. During that time, he's already tried to take over the masjid under Anwar's nose. He's saying Anwar doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, he's not confident, he didn't study. Now he's lying, saying he said none of that. We have witnesses. Imam have text messages from people. When he tell the people, Imam Ukkasha have mistaken here, they have mistaken that. He's deceiving the people. He wants to take the masjid and run it for himself. He believes he is most rightfully to be Imam because he told the Imam he's somewhere for 30 years, they have knowledge, I'm a Poughkeepsie native, you guys not native, all of this evil. So when we told him we can't have 6 weeks summer school here because people not going to come for 6 weeks. We tried this in the summertime before. The students, they're out of school and they don't want to come and sit in the masjid for 6 weeks. The parents have to agree. They have to have some security at the masjid, blah, 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 blah. He said, well, you know what? Why don't we take it to Masjid Noor? They have a lot of staff there already. They have a big place. They have the people that will volunteer. He came with this idea. So we told him, I think a lot more staff, we don't want to do that. He said, well, we can do it. He said, I'm going to talk with them. But you talk, Imam Anwar, with Beacon. Sheikh Ukkasha, you know Amir from Newburgh. Talk with Imam Amir and let me know what they say. So we said, I think we're not going to call them and tell them anything. You call them. That's your idea, you do it. He said, no, I need you all to call because you know them. So we said, I think we tried to steal the children from Poughkeepsie and take them to Masjid Noor. That's evil. They said, no, I'm not trying to steal anybody. We're just going to have them come here and bust them to Masjid Noor because it's better. And we can be united, Newburgh and Beacon. I said, how are you going to bust them without the parents' permission? Oh, I'll use my car, my daughters can drive them. I said, Allah most times. So we just left the meeting like that. And we never asked you, we never asked Amir, we never asked him Hassan. Now we have a letter going around saying he was going to do summer program, and me and Anwar, we stopped it because we're jealous. We don't want him to do anything in the masjid. It's because of this and that. So we said we're going to go and get the people to make their own statement because he's making people think everything is me. I don't want them to do this. I don't want them to do that. And now
we never talk about it, me and you. Yeah, I don't think we talk about it. Yeah, that's why I always tell the brothers, whenever somebody came and, he's showing maybe some taqwa, some knowledge, do not let him take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told the brothers in Pixcare. But I see this guy, he's Egyptian.
them is telling them not to do what to do, yelling at them. The brother's been good for a long time. They told them, who's this guy? He's a brother, you know. He came, he knows some Quran, he's pretty sad because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't let him take over. Yeah. Yeah, subhanAllah. Allah Mustan. Hakala, wallah. Yeah. Wallah, we hope that we will put, like, the people's speech together. We have his letters. We have his ludicrous audios he made. He said this, he said that. Now he's trying to say, I respect your knowledge. But just last week he said, I don't have no knowledge. I feel sorry for you. So now he's trying to reverse it because we didn't reply to him. He wants to fear him and we need to do sure with this, that. We didn't answer him. And we refuted without mentioning his name. So now he's trying to come back and say something different. But he has this letter he circulated for all people. Some people in the city council, some non-Muslim, some Muslim, all the people that he thinks can be on his side, he told them all of this. Even he talked bad about Shaikh Muqtada. Shaikh Muqtada, he really don't have no knowledge like Shaikh Ukkasha. He has some degrees, but he's not this. He's not. You don't know anybody. Shut up. Why are you talking about anybody? Wallah, I do, Shaykh. A'udhu billahi min sharri, wallah. So, Jazakumullah khair, I'm sorry I called you at this time, but it's important because we have to say something because it's divided the community already. People have shubhat. And because we're not saying anything, they believe this guy. You know, Salam said, إن من الكلام من الكلام يعني السحر كما قال من البيان this is the guy is convincing and he's deceiving the people. Wallah, we'll have nothing to try to be jealous of him. We were working before he came. We're going to work when he leaves. If he stays, we're not letting him do anything because we see he's using the tool to tip the community and to make fitness. So that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot about him anyway. A lot more. Yeah, I told the brothers in big and I told them, no, just forget about him. A lot about Kabir. That was in the summer, I guess. Yes. Yeah, he came one time in the family day. Yeah, so we're not working with him. We're not working anyway. That's malakhi. And your advice to us, not to work with him, is keep going with what's right. And if we have to stand up with what's right and to be together, but don't be involved in this stigma. That's your advice. Oh, no, we're not sure. Jazakallah khair.
So that's from Sheikh Abdul Khabir from Beacon Newburgh community. You heard family days when a lot of people come, they bring their food, their children. There's a lot of mingling. You can talk, be friends, meet people, politics. So yeah, he used that event in Beacon to do some of this extensive dirty work. Wallahu musta'an. So as you can see, this is, wallahi, going back to the summer. And we had the big issue with him in May. And we did the Kitab al-Fitan in Sayyid Bukhari, the book of trials and tribulation, commotion. And that's when we had a big meeting in the masjid that most people don't know about. And Allah Musta'an, so you could see like this, people, they know it's spread. It's not something just contained, and it's not something you could say, well, I just wanted to keep it private. None of this is private, as you can see. Two separate communities, Allah Musta'an, not just next door. And so Allah Musta'an, Hasbunallah wa wakil. So that, that's Sheikh Abdul Kabir and Imam Hassan from Beacon. Okay, Tayyib. Now, Amin was in that meeting we had in Masjid Mutakabbir on the 31st of May, the last day of the conference at Fajr, when I blocked the door to deal with this issue fairly and told Ahmed Yassin, today we're going to put everything on the table, all of this stuff that's happening, you got to give some reply, because there was a brother named Shakur and another brother named Jared. You're going to hear him mention this in his own speech when he used to teach the people to read Quran. These brothers were with him. Jared is a Muslim 5 years, but they're like no Muslim. They don't know anything. And Shakur just came from black Israelites, these people. And so they complained to me that this guy is riding their backs and putting pressure on them about everything religiously, prayer, coming to the mosque, why they didn't call him, etc. So one day they asked me, let's go away from the masjid because we don't want to talk at the masjid. People are going to come in, be nosy, they're going to come in, interrupt us. So I took them to a place, sushi place. We sat down. That's Abdul Shakur and this Jared. And they complained. They just told me all of this stuff about him, how he does them. And I said, you know, this is enough to make a person not want to come around. And then Shakur said, yeah, a person could, you know, right, really, if he's not strong, leave Islam because of this. So he confided in me with this issue. So these brothers, they themselves complained to me. And so I confronted him about this during this meeting, May 31st. And so Amin was in the meeting. Amin is, he doesn't mind. I hope he's in his 80s. He was sitting in the Quran circle with this man, and Amin is going to talk about him as well.
Send, pause,
People
resume,
don't know we met
pause,
with him, we gave him a chance, and all he did was deflect and say, oh, that's not what happened, it's all in your mind. He never dealt with the issue, but we gave him a chance. So can you talk about what he said against or for Imam Anwar to you, and the meeting that morning when you were here, you witnessed that meeting?
We certainly can, brother. The brother is deceitful. I always tell you, you talk too much. You're in your mouth too much.
And we're talking about Ahmed Yassin, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I got you on tape. Continue.
He deceitful. He was deceitful, brother. I think he was looking for a following, you know. And what really got me, let me show you something was wrong. But one day I came to the masjid. He goes, why do you go to the masjid? You don't go to the masjid in the afternoon? I'm like, what reason? Why do you go there? I said, because I wanted to. Well, you tell me I don't want to go, I don't want that to do, you know? I just don't, you don't go there. I said, okay, brother, you got a problem, you know? You don't tell me what to do, where to go, where to go, anything. You keep it to yourself, you know? And every time he's talking about the man, he's that guy confident. He don't want to attend the class. He don't have no confidence. He can't do, you know? I said, brother, look here. Leave the brother alone. Leave the brother alone. You know what we went through here? We had a traumatic experience back here every night. Somebody came in here just to look the brother, you know. I see, that's why we need security. We don't need no security. Okay, but you got a problem. You know, your problem is here you talk too much. Shut up. I said, shut up. He's on card, you know. But it's not, you know. But the thing he got me, he said, you know, I see, we ain't getting no progress. We'll get progress. The thing is here, you know, we can't, the E-Man's doing the best he can. But we know, we can either do E-Man. We don't need an E-Man. You know, you have to get E-Man, you gotta vote him up, you know. You have to vote E-Man. Well, we ain't going nowhere. He ain't doing no good. I said, okay, man, shut your mouth, shut up. My thing was with him, he always want to be, if he's one brother, can't be wrong. He don't want to be wrong. Don't want to admit when he's wrong, you know. When he's wrong, he's going to fess up. Like when the brother came up missing some donuts. He bought the donuts. Our brother put them in the refrigerator upstairs. I said, you know, we searched all around, couldn't find the donuts. Maybe somebody, I said, ain't the brother put the donuts upstairs? Oh yeah, let's go back and see. So we got to found the donuts in the refrigerator. He told the brother, yeah, I mean, we're going down the street and blah, blah, blah. We talking about, just go upstairs and check the refrigerator. Yeah, he gonna take credit for it. He called the brother, yeah, I went upstairs and found the donuts and blah, blah. He said, brother, he's deceitful. He's plain out deceitful. Plain out deceitful. I said, hey, man, I told him, you really good at one. Just big 87, you know? So I moved up here, you know?
Yes.
And he was still in storage, you know? He moved in over there, his mother's house. Well, I said, again, the brother, what, you know? I said, we put the man in there because he's from,
recording your voice met resume, pause.
This is picking up from the last recording. Amin is talking to me in the masjid. Story is being told where we had the meeting on May 31st, and we confronted Ahmed And this is the continuation of that conversation with me and Amin on the phone.
I said, you don't know that part, do you? You know, and then he said that, oh, I'm accusing the WhatsApp group of being bad. I said, it's not the WhatsApp group. It's what he's doing with the WhatsApp group. He's marking who came for Fajr with a happy face, who didn't come with a sad face. That's ibadah. That's between a person and Allah. He has no right to do that. And furthermore, there's a difference of opinion on if a person has to pray in the masjid or not. It's encouraged, all of the scholars said, but this guy is saying you have to pray, there's no excuse, and if you don't pray in the masjid, it's a sin on you, and that's not right. And then Dr. Ahmed eventually just left and said, well, you know, I don't think you guys should handle like this, but he was defending him to the T that day. You remember that?
Most certainly do.
Yeah.
I most certainly do. But I was just telling him, look here, man, well, see, some of mine, but you always talk about people coming, you know, you don't know what's in their heart. You know what's in the person's heart, you know, you don't know, but it don't come to fight you, you know. You don't know. You don't know that. I walk almost a mile, when I could walk almost a mile to come to the Cuba, you know.
Yes.
They call me a don.
Yeah.
I said, you know, you can't come down on email, you know, I still say email is wrong. I said, yeah, man, shut up. He didn't like the fact that I don't shut up.
Yeah, he don't like that. Yeah, he don't like that.
Shut up, man. You always running your mouth.
The part of a black man.
Running about this, won't you shut up, man?
Allah
Even
Mustafa.
if he's going to be there, you know, always get ready to, you gotta get ready to get a hold of him out. Ain't no way gonna get him out.
Stuff for the law like that.
That ain't gonna get him out.
And then how many, let me ask you this and then one more question because I gotta go and I still have to pack for my trip. How many times did he talk to you about this issue? Was it one time about getting rid of Imam Anwar or was it more than one time?
No, it's only one thing. He always talking about we ain't progress, the email ain't going nowhere, we ain't going nowhere. You know, he can't do this, he can't do this. So what, man? Because Shaikh Ukkasha didn't help him. You understand? What can you do except criticize or run your mouth? What can you do? What can you do? Why don't you shut up? I don't want to know about yours. You got your family, I don't care.
Hello? You there? You hit the mute button. And what did he say anything about me as it relates to something negative?
You always say you judge you wrong. Can't you say you're wrong? You always say you make mistakes here. Well, you never come to mistake. What mistakes you make, you know? What mistakes? You know? Can you do better? I can do better. You think you do better? You can't do better, brother. Why don't you run your mouth?
Yeah.
You know?
So he never brought any evidence to support his claim, but he's making claims of he can do better, I'm making mistakes, he's more fit to be Imam, Imam Anwar should be Imam, he's not doing the right job to be Imam, he himself, Ahmed Yassin, should be the Imam. Is that what you're basically saying?
So he said he didn't say he's the Imam, he said he was always trying to get support for his program and the place, trying to get support.
Yeah.
Support everybody, support him, but
Yeah. But what I'm asking you is, in other words, along with him trying to get his support for his campaign, he's saying that Imam Anwar is not fit to be Imam because of this quality and that quality, and I shouldn't be Imam because I'm making mistakes, but he never brings his evidence for the mistakes.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. No, yes. Yes. But man, okay, I told him yesterday about security.
Yeah.
I said, we don't need no security. I said, bro, look here. Look here. Me and somebody come here, with the brother with a pistol, trying to take over the masjid room. I said, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, man. You don't know what's going on. You're behind times. You come here, you want to know this morning? Who are you? Are you 18 for this man? Who are you? You scared me, man. Some of the things you was talking about. You know, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Who are you? The person you bring in there, I'm afraid of you.
So you're saying we need security.
Speakers going.
man. Allah, it's gonna be there, you know. Only way to get rid of it, you gotta get rid of it and get a hold him out. Ain't no way you gonna get him out.
Stuff for the law, I think.
Ain't gonna get him out.
And then how many, let me ask you this and then one more question because I gotta go and I still have to pack for my trip. How many times did he talk to you about this issue? Was it one time about getting rid of Imam Anwar or was it more than one time?
No, it's only one thing. He always talking about Imam we ain't progress, because Imam ain't going nowhere, we ain't going nowhere. You know, he can't do this, he can't do this. So what, man? The guy Shaikh Ukkasha didn't help him. You understand? What can you do except criticize or run your mouth? What can you do? What can you do? Why don't you shut up? I don't really know about yours. You got your family out of get.
Hello? You there? Yeah, hit the mute button. And what did he say anything about me as it relates to something negative?
As the speaker, my speaker went out, mashallah, the sound quality may not be as good, Allah Musta'an, but we try, alhamdulillah. I think the message is being delivered clearly. That was Brother Amin, as we said, he's in his 80s. He was sitting with Ahmed Yassin in the mornings doing some reading the Quran English translation. So what you heard, it might not have been as clear because he talks fast, but you know, basically everything he said you heard. This man is conniving, he said. He thinks he's working for somebody. He wants power. He mentioned many times Imam Anwar is not fit to be Imam. We need to vote him out. And his speech about me is that I have mistakes. I mean, he said, what mistakes? He said, I can do better. Imam Ukkasha, you know, has mistakes. And I mean, said to him, you can't do better. Only thing you can do is criticize. Who are you when you sent here by somebody and so forth. And then he mentioned something because the speaker went out. He said like he want to marry somebody. And he described the lady in a bad way. I mean, so I said, yeah, this is the case when he asked me the time about a man if he marries a non-Muslim lady and he's Muslim. He marries a non-Muslim lady as a second wife, and that lady does not want to give that man inheritance. Is that okay in the Sharia? Because Allah said, وَلَكُمْ نِصْفُ مَا تَرَكَ أَزْوَاجُكُمْ إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُنَّ وَلَدٌ. And so he said that when ladies die, you get half. They should leave you half of the inheritance, so as long as there's no children between the two of you. And so I told him, that's true, but that lady, if she's a non-Muslim, then the Prophet said, La yuritha Muslim kafir, wala yuritha kafir Muslim. That the exception is that the Muslim can inherit from the non-Muslim. So even though that ayat is true, you can't get that money from that lady who's your wife if she's a non-Muslim according to the hadith of the Prophet. So he was asking me about that because he wanted to marry some lady. And you could just see again the deceit. He wants to tell the lady, Islam says I should get inheritance, which that's true, but he didn't tell her the second part, which is the deception again, that that's not the case for a man who's married to a non-Muslim, because the non-Muslim doesn't and shouldn't inherit from the Muslim. The Muslim shouldn't inherit from the non-Muslim, and the non-Muslim shouldn't inherit from the Muslim. Now, so that was Brother Amin and Mullah Musta'an.
Bismillah. This is 11th of November. This is 11th of November after Fajr Salah, Poughkeepsie, New York. This is myself, Ukkasha, Abdurrahman, Muhammad, and Bara, and Imam Anwar is here. We're talking. So my thing I want to, because
My purpose, again, I want people to have a fair chance to be on clarity. People are confused. Some people see through the forest, alhamdulillah, but many people believe it or affected. We talking to people talking, they affected. And they're thinking me and the Imam am one. May Allah bless him and bless us all, make us better, forgive us for our shortcomings. We're just harming this poor guy who wants to do good. We're just blocking him from doing any good. We have an evil, score to settle with him for some reason. It's far from reality. Why we want to let him do this, why he can't teach Quran, why he can't lead Salah, why he can't call the Adhan. Oh, they only put those stuff in place for him. I mean, are you serious? It's a policy that everybody has in their masjid. It's a policy that should be established. Islam is about, organization, boundaries, having things in a good order. So if you just have any and everybody doing anything, that's not good for any organization, any business, any place that you have to do something on a communal level. So all of these things, they spread on about us. So for me, I want to ask you, the meeting that we had that morning when I blocked the door, and I told them, today is your day, you got to clarify, because Shakur called me about something. I called him back, and the first thing he said to me, this guy, Ahmed Yassin, oh man, this guy, he's bothering me about Mustafa not praying in the masjid. He's bothering me about Jared not praying in the masjid. He even tried to bother me. He said, this is too much, all the stuff we got going on in our life, you could make us say, that's it, We could make a person leave Islam because, we're new Muslims, and all he can do is talk about who should pray and who shouldn't pray. So that morning I gave him the opportunity. He didn't solve any problem. He didn't admit to any problems. He didn't try to resolute. He just said, it's all in my mind. And every time somebody said something against him, he said it didn't happen. When Amin spoke and said, yeah, you did talk against the Imam. You said the Imam was weak. He wasn't confident. We need to vote him out. I didn't say that. He said, yes, you did. Wallah, you're a liar. He was quiet. Then you spoke. You told him, yes, the character you have and all of this stuff you're doing, it's wrong. You tell us, don't stop here. Stop like this in the Quran. It's a 4 count. You should hold it 4 seconds. But then when you read, for your convenience, you change it. No, I didn't say that. You can do 2. All of this confusion. So what do you remember about the meeting that morning? Did it take place? And did we give him a fair chance to express his issues if he was wronging people or not?
Yeah, we did give him a chance to talk and speak out for himself, and to allow him to explain the accusations that are put onto him in order for us to get a reasonable explanation to have this.
Talk up, so there's no record. They want to hear it.
Alhamdulillah, he was able to listen and hear out Shaykh Ukkasha, just like Shaykh Ukkasha is able to listen and hear out Ahmed Yassin. The thing is, yeah, he was in a state of denial, constant denial. He was in just a self-defense mode. He didn't want to admit to anything. But even me, I've seen his actions and his demeanor, and it's haram Allah. It's affecting the community and it's affecting the students. I'm going to be honest, he's a good guy. He's trying his best to help us in the best way possible, but he's very stubborn. He's very, very stubborn. He doesn't like to listen to people. Even when Imam Anwar and Shaikh Ukkasha try to give him a chance to talk it out and get the whatever situation resolved, he's very deflective. He'll say, he'll say, okay, I'll keep it in mind, I'll try my best, but then he'll just go back and do what he does, and then you'll remind him again, he'll be, I'm just trying to do this and that, but that's not what they said though. So it's like he always has some kind of.
Try to play some of his. In conclusion. Oh, 12 Again, we apologize. The speakers went out. Hopefully it's audible, inshallah, and we're almost finished. That's about 4 times.
Stop button. Voice message.
Shaikh Ukkasha is he's not the Rasul. He's not even a great chair. And for his actions, it's clear to me, he doesn't understand the deen. Really. He's just misusing the deen. I had a lot of respect for him. Most of his law. I feel sorry for him. Because to me, this is clearly envious, man. Jealousy. So he'll try to destroy something instead of trying to work with it. Just because he doesn't want anyone else to do anything except him. And you fall for that. And you let him blind your eyes when I never did or said anything against you or your leadership. And he just fill you up. So now he's trying to pull what the other into the matter. This is just distortion. This is this clear distortion and slander. And I'm not afraid of his words. I'm not afraid of his words. I don't want to make a big fitna about it and make it into a thing in the masjid. This is wrong. I'm not going to interrupt him in the khutbah. I'm not even going to speak about it. I hope not. In a loud voice, in front of a lot of people. That's not good for Islam. That's not good for
Waiting.
Or maybe that's what he wants. So the next step you'll say is, you are banned from the masjid. Okay, do it. Ban me from the masjid. So from the time you guys spoke, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. No, but you want to continue. Khutbah after khutbah after khutbah. It's unnecessary. I'm not resisting. You said don't leave the salah. You didn't even tell me don't leave the salah, and I don't. Anyway, that's fine. All that's fine. You want to just make it worse and worse and worse. Go ahead, ban me. Do what you want. Just do what you want. Because Allah is sufficient as a witness between me and between you. كفى بالله شهيدا بيني وبينكم. إنه بعباده خبيرا عليما or خبيرا بصيرا. I think the verse goes. Surah Al-Isra. Allah sufficient.
No subject. You're recording a sheet grabber button. Course. Stop button. Their own perspective and opinion. My own opinion. Allah knows best. That you were extremely unfair and one-sided in the situation that occurred after Fajr today. No problem.
The recording that you just heard was the audio message he sent Imam Anwar the day after we had this big falling out that now you know happened in the masjid when I blocked the door in order to get to the bottom of this. And while now he's saying he never said anything about Imam, he never denigrated him, he never talked about him in any kind of way, he never undermined his leadership. Let's just say that it was a misunderstanding and we're straight and work together, and now he's in Egypt whispering, doesn't want his wife to know details and trying to basically fake like it was just a small problem while he's there, but giving passive threats about when he comes back if he doesn't get his way. You heard in that talk very nasty, very violent, very bold and aggressive with his evil. So now, this, what you're hearing is a letter that he wrote the day after the big meeting in the masjid, and he sent it to Talib as-Sadiq, who's part of the people who works and manages the forum in Poughkeepsie Township. Now, Talib was there. He witnessed what took place for 2.5, 3 hours that morning in the masjid. But for him to send Talib a letter and then said, well, I wrote the letter to give to Imam Anwar because Imam Anwar wasn't there that morning to witness it, to let him know what really took place. But then he sends it to Talib again. It shows he's not just dealing with people inside the circle of the community. So we wanted to play that letter so you can hear the day after what was the tone, because he's swearing he only wanted to help, didn't want to make fitna, he wanted to keep stuff contained, he didn't mean no harm, he's never talking about people. So this is the letter you're hearing being read from my device that he wrote, and he sent it in WhatsApp to Talib.
Opinion. I have no reason to believe that you did this intentionally, and so I will reflect on your criticism and other criticism that was expressed this morning about me from Shaikh Ukkasha and others.
The point that he's making about Talib, which he's claiming he's giving Talib the benefit of the doubt, that Talib, he doesn't think he had any reason to purposely talk about him. He's claiming Talib called him a hypocrite. Talib never called him a hypocrite. He told him, stop saying that you love Shaykh Ukkasha after 2-3 hour meeting, and your disrespect and the way that you acted towards him, that's not love. He said, and I am an educator, like you claim you're an educator, Ahmed, for over 25 years. And we learned that stop means stop. Not stop means keep going. But you think stop means keep going. That's all Talib said. He never called him an innovator. He never called him a evildoer. He never called him a hypocrite or anything. So he's writing this letter to scold Talib, saying that you called me a hypocrite unjustly. You don't know what's in my chest. Another blatant lie and a cry for sympathy.
I do blame you for one thing, and that is for calling me insincere and hypocritical. Specifically to state openly in the meeting that I do not love Shaykh Ukkasha. You have absolutely no right to declare that you know what is in my heart. May Allah forgive you. In fact, I do sincerely love and appreciate the Shaykh, both for his knowledge and also for the struggles that he has gone through to get to where he is today, including the loss of his eyesight. May Allah heal him, protect him, and grant him paradise. My love for the Shaykh, however, does not prevent me from disagreeing with him about many issues, especially his failure to sufficiently encourage people to come to the masjid for salah, actually justifying people not attending salah to the extent most people only come once a week to the masjid for Jumu'ah. I don't expect a majority of the people to come to the masjid throughout the week.
So here you can see again his aim to show that I'm inadequate as an imam, as a sheikh, and that the reason people don't come to the masjid is because of me. So if he can make people see all of this, and they can say, yeah, we need new leadership. Masjid should be open, it's always closed, and he's giving people excuses not to come to the masjid. First of all, we mentioned when the issue came up about attendance, him taking attendance, who's absent for Fajr, who showed for Fajr. If you came, he put your name, happy face. If you didn't come, he put your name, absent, and a sad face. We already said this is wrong. It's not from the way of Islam. And we had many people say this, laymen, people of knowledge, male, female,